Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, we are 37 days away from the Great American Race, Daytona 500 2026 edition. We did find out some recent news on Monday at 3:30 Eastern Time. NASCAR's whole press conference. Talk about the format for next year. I know there's some, quote, leak stuff out there about Chase, 10-race Chase with 12 drivers. Cool, whatever. I still think, because of some of the stuff with the lawsuit, it's going to be the full season. I know they've talked about the buy-in from the fans and the industry. NBC's come out and said that they're leaving up to NASCAR to do what they want to do. They like the elimination and the drama, but it's up to NASCAR. So I might work on a video this weekend about some things about the different three formats we've had: the full season, the chase, and then the playoffs, and kind of my thoughts on each of them, which I've talked about before on here. But we also found out that at the San Diego street race, there at Cardano, whatever the name of it, that naval base is there, Jimmy Johnson will be in the #1 truck for Tricon Garage. His first truck starts as like 2008. So yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see how that goes for him. So yeah, just as we count down, we figure. So we're 37 days away from Daytona today. We'll be 34 on Monday. So 34 days ahead of the kickoff of the season is when we find out about the format. Some people don't think that's long enough. I've seen some comments about that. As long as we know before we get to Daytona. It'd be nice to know we put Bowman Gray, which we will now. And we also found out that Corey LaJoie will drive the #6 for RFK because Brad's still recovering from his knee leg injury from a broken leg, I think he was, from skiing over the winter. So, yeah, hopefully he's ready for Daytona. He said he would be. So, and same with Stuart Friesen, the Truck Series, he'd be ready for Daytona. I guess the 62, the Harmar Friesen #62 will be kind of a rotation of drivers this year. Be full time, but a rotation of drivers. I'm going to go with Corey Heim for Daytona because Stuart Friesen said that everybody will be pleased with who's going to be in the truck for Daytona. So I'm thinking it's going to be Corey Heim. I think he'll be running double duty that weekend with the Cup car and the truck. All right, car number 37. Since we are 37 days away, we're going to profile each car number like we have since 104. All right, car number 37. When I think of that car number, obviously the Hayek Motorsports JTG Authority Racing, when they had two cars, the 47, 37. I'd have to look this up, but off the top of my head, I think the 37 for JTG was the last. Obviously, the lawsuit, the team beyond the lawsuit, was the last car to run full time, 36 races unchartered, if I remember correctly, because they did that. They sold their charter and still ran full time for 1 year. When I think of that car, I think of the 37 Timberwolf car in the Xfinity series. That's what I can use the picture for. So yeah, when I look at those pictures up for the videos, I either pick whatever it's like the first thing I think of for that car number, or I pick something that's like, oh, that's kind of cool, like the Alan Quickie 38 or 36 or 35 will be the same way with Alan Quickie. So yeah, just kind of cool ones are ones that I think of right away. All right, so the number 37 in the Cup Series, 663 starts, 1 win, 19 top 5s, 89 top 10s, 2 poles. July 10th, 1949 was the first race. November 7th, 2021 was the last race. 84 different drivers, only one ever won in it. 283 times had a bow tie on it. 231 had the blue oval on it. 101 it was a Mopar, Dodge. 36 Buick, 22 Pontiac, 14 Mercury, 12 Oldsmobile, 6 Nash, 3 Plymouth, a Hudson, and a Packard. That's the era of NASCAR that if I could get my DeLorean and go back in time, is go back to the 40s, late 40s and 50s, and see the Packards and the Hudsons and the Nashes and all those running in NASCAR, and hang out in that era just to see, like blow your mind at what, how it was then compared to modern day. I'd also love to go back to 1945, go to Daytona for the Beach and Road Course race, meet Bill France Sr. Again, this is 2 years before NASCAR was created, but this was also the year before he created the other National Association of something of racing he had, and because it was a predecessor to NASCAR, and help him start that, and then obviously be in that meeting at the Streamline Hotel when NASCAR came about, and then say we should do XYZ because in the future people will want this, and just to be like, what future? What are you talking about? 77 years from now? What? Huh? But so Chris Buescher, 108 starts in the number 37 in the Cup car, 2 top 5s, 10 top 10s, average finish 20.1. Brian Preece, 72 starts, 1 top 5, 6 top 10s, average finish 23.6. Ironically, they are teammates at RFK now, which I think the Preece thing is very interesting. Here's why. The number 60 for RFK, they're leasing that charter from Rick Ware Racing. We know Rick Ware is already going to sell a charter next year to Legacy Motor Club. So does that mean Rick Ware either leases again or sells the charter to RFK? Then they have no charters? But do they become one of the new Dodge teams if Dodge comes in 27 and they get those 4 charters from NASCAR? Or 3 of the 4? And then Kaulig gets the other one? Or, here's the big or, does RFK, because Brad's talking about retiring. There's been some rumors about him retiring at the end of the year. Does Brad retire after 26? Preece go in the 6. They keep the 60 kind of as an all-star kind of if Brad wants to make a start here or there, or for some kind of like a third team, so they kind of have it. And then Rick Ware keeps one of their charters. I got thinking about that the other day. I'm like wondering if that's kind of on the horizon for RFK. Go back to 2 full-time and then 1 kind of part-time if Brad wants to run the 500 or if, something like that. Maybe they do an Xfinity team as well. Because that charter you can only lease a charter for a year. So I think last year they leased the 15 charter for the 60. And this year they're leasing the 51 charter, which Rick Ware Racing will renumber the 15 to be 51. That's the way the charters are actually done. So they're going to renumber the charter, so they're leasing the other charter. So, but they either have to lease the other charter next year or sell it. You can only lease for 1 year at a time. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with Preece next year if he's named the 6, or do they do something, pull the trigger on a charter. John Andretti, 54 starts in that 37, 2 top 5, 7 top 10s, average finish of 23.6. Jimmy Mayfield, 39 starts, 3 top 5s, 8 top 10s, average finish of 20.5. Tony Raines, 29 starts, average finish 35.2. Don Tarr, 24 starts, 7 top 10s, average finish of 21.8. Bobby Isaac, 7 starts, the 1 win, 3 top 5s, 5 top 10s, average finish of 7.1. On the Xfinity side, 383 races among 34 different drivers, 4 wins among 2 different drivers. The first race was February 13th, 1982, last race November 17th, 2018. 37 top 5s and 77 top 10s. Kevin Grubb leads the way with 91 starts, 6 top 5s, 18 top 10s, average finish of 21.3. Mark Green, one of the 3 Green brothers, 71 starts, 1 top 5, 10 top 10s, average finish 20.3. David Green, the oldest of the Green brothers, 68 starts, 3 wins, 17 top 5s, 37 top 10s, average finish of 13.2. Patty Moise, 23 starts, 2 top 10s, average finish 21.9. Kevin LePage, 19 starts, 2 top 5s, 4 top 10s, average finish of 17.7. Chip Lane, 15 starts, average finish of 22.2. Jeff Purvis, 12 starts, 1 top 5, 1 top 10, average finish of 18.7. Now, on the truck side, only 15 drivers drove this truck, but only 4 had multiple starts in it. So we had 9 with 1 start only. You can find that full list on driveraverages.com. So of the 64 starts, only 10 top 10s among 15 different drivers total. February 5th, 1995 was the first race. May 27th, 2022 was the last race. Scott Walters, 30 starts, 4 top 10s, average finish in 19.3. Bob Strait, 19 starts, 5 top 10s, average finish is 16.7. If I remember correctly, he was a big ARCA guy ARCA guy back then when ARCA was kind of separate. And then I think he ran ASA as well, if I remember correctly. The name, again, off the top of my head, I didn't look those two stats up. David Green, 2 starts, 1 top 10, average finish of 10.5. And then Mark Green, 2 starts, average finish of 11.5. All right, we are 37 days away from the Great American Race as we count down day by day to get there. We're profiling all the car numbers. Once we get there, we'll obviously have the preview of the race up beforehand. And then if something major happens during that weekend, we'll do a review of the weekend as well and reaction to anything that happened. Have a reaction Monday night about the playoff format, or the season format, whatever we're calling it. Maybe a topic this weekend, kind of my thoughts on the 3 options. And then I think the options are going to be full 36 race, a chase, or a 3-3-4 format. So right now it's 3-3-3-1. They're talking about doing 3-3 and then a 4. That's something Jordan Bianchi had brought up late last year. So we'll see which one they go with. Everybody has their opinion. I like the elimination style. I think we can mesh the 2, elimination and chase. But you know what? We'll figure it out. We'll let everybody NASCAR will let everybody know on Monday, and then we'll have our reaction for it, and we'll move on. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Let's have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader, sports channel content.